appreciated. Joining me now for more analysis on Puerto Rico is Frederick Velez. He's a senior associate with FDJ Solutions. Frederick, good to have you with us. Frederick, the entire political process in Puerto Rico appears to be in chaos now. As we just reported, Puerto Rico's House of Representatives barely approved Pierluisi before swearing him in today. The Senate says it's not going to vote until next week. So what happens if the Senate does not approve him?
So hi, Michelle. Thanks for having me. Today has been a tough day in Puerto Rico. While some people are excited that Ricardo Rosselló left the governorship, we are also in the brink of what you could call a constitutional crisis. In the case that Pierluisi is not confirmed by the Senate on Wednesday, things will definitely turn difficult here. Right now, what we have is that Wanda Vázquez, the Secretary of Justice, would be the one to become the governor. However, she has also been pointed at in terms of corruption scandals. So Wanda Vázquez, the Secretary of Justice, would be someone also that the people of Puerto Rico wouldn't find acceptable. So that's something. Mm-hmm.
So, Frederick, who would the people find acceptable, keeping in mind that Pierluisi, he's the handpicked success of the outgoing governor, so he comes with a taint. So who do the people want to see?
So I think the problem here is that this movement has been the explosion, I would say, of pent-up frustrations of decades of corruption and mismanagement by government officials from both parties in Puerto Rico. So to be honest, it's going to be really hard to find someone that hasn't either been employed by La Junta or that hasn't been in some way or other tied to corruption scandals or to the Puerto Rican debt. So it's really going to be something really hard. At the end of the day, the PNP, the New Progressive Party, is actually the party that's in control right now, and they are the ones who constitutionally can choose a governor. But it's going to be hard to find someone that hasn't been tainted by corruption.
Right. Well, Pierluisi is very politically experienced. We'll give him that. Now, ironically, many of the protesters seem to object to him because of his experience overseeing the board which governs Puerto Rico's finances. Now, the opposition sees him as too much of an advocate of trying to get the island's finances under control. But isn't that exactly what Puerto Rico needs?
Well, so the supporters of Pierluisi point out that he was a member of Congress for 8 years. So he right now has connections in Washington, D.C., which are sorely needed because of the reconstruction funds that are being sent to Puerto Rico, and that right now are being held back by the Trump administration because they are seeing this scandal as a way to block those funds. So the supporters of Pierluisi see his connections as a positive thing, but then at the same time, the people of Puerto Rico don't see it as a positive sign. They just see it as something that's more of the same. He still has ties with the Junta. He was part of the law firm that represented La Junta, and that's what the people of Puerto Rico are focusing on. It's just more of the same.
All right, so who is Rivera Schatz? Because he seems to be the main rival to Pierluisi now.
So Tomás Rivera Schatz is the Senate president. He's been rumored for a long, long time to win the governorship. However, he does not have the support of the majority of the people of Puerto Rico. So what can be said is that he's trying to find a back way into the governorship. And that would be, people speculate by not confirming Pierluisi as the next governor of Puerto Rico. And then when Wanda Vázquez becomes the governor, either try to impeach her or have her name Tomás Rivera Schatz as the new Secretary of State and then resign so he becomes the governor. So this is something that you could actually say that you couldn't even come up with it in fiction. It's something straight up House of Cards. But this is what's happening on Puerto Rico right now. Some people are using personal politics and playing with the island's future.
Right, and as we mentioned, several protests, which of course have been detrimental to the island because they've impacted tourism, which is a big source of income for Puerto Rico. So while the people do want to protest against this, ironically, the protests are actually causing quite a bit of economic damage. And if they continue, it's expected that damage to the tourism industry will continue as well. Frederick Velez, thank you so much. Appreciate your analysis. All right.